Don't quit your 9 to 5. There's been a big wave on YouTube, people telling you quit your job, work for yourself, become an entrepreneur, make your own hours, make as much money as you like, be your own boss. Don't do it. Do not do it. Okay? It's not worth it. It's really scary. It's very daunting. You go from putting 8 hours per day to 12, 14, 16, 18, 20-hour days. It's not worth it. It's too scary. God knows what could happen. You're not going to feel safe. You're not going to feel like you have that baseline level of security. Anything could happen, right? What if you don't make any money? What if things go south? What if your business blows up? And not to mention that all the stress of dealing with it, of really just making your own path. Screw that, okay? Don't bother doing that. You're just better off being cozy, watching your Netflix, putting 20 years in the school system, getting a lot of debt, and then being a wagey. But then you have all this debt you're going to pay off, so you'll be 40 when you're debt free. But then you got a home that you got to pay off, so you still have more debt to pay off, and you're just a debt slave your whole life. That sounds like a good deal, doesn't it? Okay, trolling aside, I've been getting DMs, messages from you beautiful lads, from you good men about becoming autonomous, working online. How do you go about doing that? How do you go about going from working in a grocery, working as a barista, or maybe you studied for your job, maybe you're an accountant, maybe you're a plumber, who knows? But you want to be mobile. You don't want to be stuck to a location. How do we go about changing that? What is it that we have to do? Like, how do I work online? How do I make, average income salary online and just work for myself, Or even better, how do I work half the amount of time I'm working right now, make the same amount of money, and it being online so I can work anywhere in the world so long as you have internet connection and an outlet to plug your computer in? I want to talk about that. I think it's very, very important. I know this online money making thing is something that's been getting a ton of buzz, of course, from Andrew Tate coming out and talking about Hustlers University and making money online. And there's so many ways to do it now. I feel like it's been butchered heavily. I'm not a pessimist on people who have IRL, like going to real location jobs. I think those people are heroes. We're always going to need people who do infrastructure. We're always going to need, doctors, and we're always going to need all these people who do real worldly jobs. They're very, very important. I don't like the idea that everything online is better. As someone who's been doing online work for 6 years, guys, I started working online in 2016 after I dropped out of university. I feel like I have strong authority here to give some advice and some wisdom to anyone who wants to go down this journey and go down this path. I'm not a multimillionaire. I'm not at the end of my journey, but I definitely can help you figure this out and help you create a game plan that will work for you and point you in the right direction. I was very crazy. If you don't know my story, I was in debt. I dropped out of uni 6 years ago, and I picked up some IRL jobs. Like my first job ever, I was a janitor. And then that was in high school. Then I worked at a chocolate factory doing night shift. That was brutal. And then I worked a sales job selling tech products. And it was literally like I worked in that factory for a month, then I quit. And then I worked that sales job for 2 weeks, then I quit. I just couldn't stand it. Mind you, I was a bit of a pussy. I was a bit of a bitch. I should have just bitten the bullet and stacked up more cash. But I really despised it. And I was totally infatuated with the autonomy, the freedom, and just doing it all myself, and me just grabbing a machete and going into this digital forest and just carving my path, while everyone is just completely against the current, just completely against the wave. And that was during a time 6 years ago where before it's just so normal, I guess you could say. It's just so like people are like, oh yeah, you can make money online. Oh yeah, like there's business online. Yeah, like Google's worth billions, or trillions. Apple's worth trillions. Amazon, I'm pretty sure, is worth trillions. Like, oh yeah, it's all normal. You got so many avenues to go about it. I think people at this point either are kind of like baffled, like they have no idea what they should do. They don't know where to start because there's so many ways to do it. There's 1,000 ways to make money online, and there's 1,000 ways to get rich, to really turn it into a profitable career. So I would say the best place you can start off is just education. Things like watching this video, learning, opening your mind to the possibilities, and then starting to get a feel of what is it that you want to do. Are you more of a business type of person where you like to think high level? You like to think about creating systems and then hiring people to do all the work for you? Are you more of a person where you feel like you're a professional, you're an expert, and you just want to, you prefer, performing this skill, whether it's like a graphic design or, some sort of consultant, or, maybe offering legal advice and just charging a premium and selling your time, but, for a reasonably good rate. You got to see where you are on the totem pole. If you're starting from scratch, you need to skill up. You need to spend some time of like, what could I study for a month that will get me through the door and at least start helping me earn some minimum wage or above minimum wage and just start getting some cash in. You have to get cash in because that is going to give you the key to cut the time gap. The best thing I did in my journey early on, I was really infatuated with YouTube. I've got this YouTube channel with all of you amazing people following. And I spent thousands of dollars with my good friend, my brother Gaz. Him and I spent thousands of dollars investing into courses, into mentorship, to learn about video editing, to learn about what makes good content, equipment, all these things, right? And then also understanding e-commerce. How do we monetize? How do you create actual businesses? Thousands of hours, right? Hours, but we spent that money because it's like, why go about it like a chicken with your head cut off, trying to scour all over the internet for this information when you can just cut the learning curve and really take it seriously. Like, spending that money forced me to take it seriously because I felt the pain of losing that money. And I'm like, damn, I got to make this shit work. I got to earn that money back. And so I took it aggressively seriously, and it has paid off 100-fold. It has paid off so much that I can't even put it into words how enriching it is to just be your own boss and have the freedom to, be a free agent. Whether you want to work a job, there's nothing wrong with that. You can work online jobs or run your own business. It's a truly, truly beautiful thing. So educate. Watch YouTube videos. But at a certain point, you should be working a 9-to-5. That was my mistake. I wish I just continued that sales job. So I just accumulated more cash, and then I could have spent way more on learning, spent more on going to dope places like you see right here out in Mexico, and actually creating dope stuff, actually being able to invest in the content more, invest in myself more, and doing, awesome things like that. So I don't encourage you to be insanely aggressive. I have a very high risk tolerance. I've always been that type of person that I just, my tolerance is like, I can't even put it in a scale. I'm just a very ultra high risk individual, and it's a blessing and a curse. I've been hurt by it by a lot, but all of my biggest wins are from my ability to take on risk and kind of just my hunger for it. Scared money don't make no money, and a scared man doesn't make no money. At the end of the day, fear is only going to hurt you here, and a lot of people feel afraid about coming on the camera or working online and exploring this. You need to expel it, okay? And you need to install, this is possible. Daniel's doing it. This guy's doing it. That guy's doing it. We're all humans. If other people can do it, you sure as hell can do it. So relinquish all that. Educate yourself heavily. Continue working your 9-to-5. Stash the cash. The key with stashing the cash, you need to also learn financial literacy. Save your money. Don't spend too much so you actually can accumulate it. And just keep accumulating and start experimenting. Oftentimes, the best internet businesses or the best ways to make money online cost zero. For instance, the first money I ever made, I went on a website called Upwork. I applied, I created my profile. You can think of it as like a decentralized marketplace where entrepreneurs and founders create jobs, right? Because they want products built, they need services done, they need their problems fixed. And then, hired freelancers, hired guns, go to those job posts, you call them bounties or whatever you want to call them, and they apply for them. And communication happens between these two parties. An agreement is met. A service is performed by the freelancers, and money is given from the entrepreneurs. And it's literally worth billions of dollars. Upwork is a very, very legitimate, website, marketplace for finding online work. I know people who've made hundreds of thousands of dollars from it. My profile alone, I've made 20K off it, and I've met people on Upwork who we work off of it now, and I don't want to get it into too much detail, those numbers, but let's just say like it's full-time work, and I mean, you can do the math yourself. So it's a beautiful thing, and it didn't cost me much in the beginning. I just needed the ambition and the thirst. As long as you have those two things, anything is possible. I'm telling you. You will learn what you'll need to do. You'll search it up on YouTube, what needs to get done. You'll find the tutorial. You'll save up the money to buy the course or buy the mastermind or buy the mentoring that you need to help you accelerate, to help you learn the information that you're lacking, to give you the guidance and the necessary accountability and action plan to actually do it. Okay? If you're the type of person like me, you don't need mentorship. You don't need any of that. You just got to go after it and go in hard and execute. Some people, though, they need someone with them. I was lucky to have someone with me throughout the entire process, like Gaz or like my brother, where I had people to bounce ideas off of, and I still spent money on mentors. I spent money on education. It's necessary. People will spend $500 on a bullshit textbook they don't give a damn about, that gives them zero value, gives them negative value in college. The history of Collardin Petropoulos, of how his gender was swapped. And they'll spend money on this garbage, but they don't even want to spend $50 on an ebook that can completely change their lives if they actually apply it. It's baffling. Quite often, you are the reason why you are broke, why you can't make it on the internet, and why you will never make it. And sure, just stay in your lane. Work your 9 to 5, shut up. Don't come hating on the people who want to take a risk, who want something more out of life, because you're a loser and you've given up. Stay at the bottom of the barrel and STF you, bum. But for you guys who have like insane thirst, you feel that discontent. You're at your job, you're like, fuck, man. All I think about is just going home and doing this and doing that, and I'm not present. I don't feel enriched by this. I hate it. I don't like my coworkers. My boss is a piece of crap. I hate the politics, corporate world, this, that. Dude, God is speaking through you. It's telling you, make a change. Do something about it. Do something about it, right? I did something about it years ago. I was 19. I was in debt. I had no money. I managed to turn it all around. You can turn it around too. So there's no like call to action to this video or buy this, buy that. I just want this to be a message from the universe, if you will. It's a new year, new me. You guys know that. I don't believe in any of that nonsense. But given that it is a new year, a new chapter, a new era, make the most of it. Stop putting off the things that you want to do. Enough is enough, man. Go after it relentlessly. F what everybody thinks. You have to save yourself, and ultimately, whatever you want from life, you have to take it. You have to command it. Nothing's going to land in your lap. I could sit here all day hoping a leaf will fall on me and I grab the leaf. But the odds are way greater if I just walk to the tree, pick it off, and grab it in my hand. And so many of us are just going about life, letting life happen to us. But make this year a life that you happen to it. Put your mark out there in the world, okay? Whether you want to earn 2, 3, 4, 5, 10,000 per month online, it's possible. You just have to put in the work, okay? There are many ways of going about it. I say start off with education. Educate yourself heavily. The more the merrier, but at a certain point, you're going to know what you need to do, and just do it. You could start a YouTube channel. You could talk about fixing cars. You could talk about God knows what. Maybe you're a good video editor. Go on Upwork. Apply for this. Maybe you're a good copywriter. Maybe you are bilingual, 3, 4 languages. You could be a translator. Maybe you need to learn a new skill. Maybe this is time to be like, damn, I don't know anything. I'm just going to learn something that makes money. Start there. Maybe you could be a salesperson. You can work online. People who work corporate, but there's corporate jobs that are completely mobile. You just have to call up people off LinkedIn or hit up people off this like cold calling list, make a couple calls per day. Boom, you're making 50, 60, 70 a year, completely mobile job. Do the research, okay? This is part of it. Appreciate you guys. I know it's been a while. I've got a lot going on here. I got a lot of things I'm building. I'm going to do my best to come back here. I'm not going to make any promises on schedule. The schedule is whenever my next video comes out. I'm not going to put no pressure. I just feel like that ends up hurting me and also hurting you and our relationship of you feeling let down that I haven't uploaded. But, here I am living life, making the most of it. And I just wanted to put this word out there for you entrepreneurial guys and the people who really want to level up. You can just put in the work. Okay. Put in the man hours, keep stashing up the cash. Educate, 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 and execute. It's okay to fail. It's totally okay to fail. Just don't throw lots of money in dumb ideas. You don't need lots of money to test these ideas and see what works online. I'm telling you, most of the time it's going to be $0 to $100 to see if any of these online money making methods will work. So that's that. Give your boy a like. Let me know what types of content you want to see in 2023. I'm really obsessed with business, and I'm really working on. I've doubled my strength, all of my lifts. I've 2x'd my strength on everything. So now I'm getting into the cutting season, skipping the Canadian winter. It's just really nice. It's so beautiful here, and yeah, I just wish peace and love and absolute abundance to all of you. And I'll see you next time. Okay, take care. Peace out from the Danister. Peace.